Hello and welcome to another episode of League Talk. This is episode 3. Today we'll be talking about what's been going on with the LCS this week. Today I'm joined by a few of my friends. Starting from the left, we got Mr. Anthony, Leon, Phan.
I hate you so much. It is pronounced Phan.
Phan, almost like fun.
Yeah.
Anthony, Leon, fun. Got it.
Yeah.
To my right, we got Mr. Jimmy, C2C Leyva.
Hello.
And once again, we also got our guest this week, Jeramy, Phillips.
Once again.
Hello.
Yes, he's our guest this week. And we'll start off with what you guys did this week. How was your week to this, Anthony?
It's been pretty much just filled with school recently since it just started. I've been swamped with homework, so the gaming has been a little bit toned down, but recently I've been playing some Guild Wars. I've been getting back into some PvPing. It's a little weird, but it's fun, and then I need to pick up ranked again for League. I need to get to gold, for God's sakes.
Get into gold. I totally understand that feeling.
Yeah.
Mr. Jimmy, what you been up to?
Gearing up for classes. Tomorrow I actually start my first day of classes for this year, so I'm gonna be with Leon over there, just like homework, and just preparing all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Gaming-wise, I've been pretty light on League. Most of my time has been on Borderlands 2. I've been playing a little bit of Super Meat Boy on the side. Hotline Miami, all sorts of other stuff. Most of my time has been actually spent watching the LCSs. So.
Okay, good stuff. What about you over there, Jeremy?
Well, actually, mine's complete opposite of these. I've just been sitting playing Infinite Crisis and League of Legends, and mainly just looking for an RPG to play because there's none really. Not on the PC, any. I mean, a single-player RPG. Of course, there's hundreds of MMOs.
Yeah. Well, what kind of RPGs do you like?
Kind of like JRPG, but not tactics. So it's kind of hard to find one.
I'm sure we can help you find one. I know a bunch, so.
Same here.
But yeah.
What have you been up to, Moose?
Use, right? Anthony? Wise? Use? What is it?
Yes.
YS? Yes? Yeah, that
Yes.
one's amazing. That's a really good one.
I don't know. I don't find that really RPG-ish. I meant like stat-wise.
Okay.
Kind of like Final Fantasy 3, 4.
Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What? Me
So
myself, I've been really busy this week with work. Also, it's been kind of like a long, hard week. But besides that, like always, League of Legends.
Nope.
League of Legends, Infinite Crisis. I've been playing quite a bit of that. Some Borderlands 2, just a bunch of like other random indie games also for Steam and such. Looks like we may have lost Mr. Jimmy. But he's back. I'm pretty confident in that. Something may have happened with his internet, something.
It must have dropped.
Yeah, he dropped real fast. He'll be back though, no worries. But what was? No, give me a second. Had to type that shit in caps, so he knows it's legit.
Yes.
Yes. So I guess we can use this time to talk about maybe an RPG for you. So do you have mostly just PC?
Yeah, just PC right now.
Okay. Well, I know they just put Final Fantasy VII on it, which isn't a bad game. But besides that, you can get like an emulator and download any of the like 5,000 million good SNES RPGs. You can get some Chrono Trigger in, something like that.
Oh yeah, don't worry. Chrono Trigger is my favorite game of all time.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
But like I've sat through. I have every single SNES game on emulator, and I've sat through and combed through them. I didn't find any of them interesting since I probably played most of them already.
That's pretty interesting.
So, wait, specifically, what kind of RPGs are you into? Are you like stat wise and just strategy, or what?
Like just imagine old school Final Fantasy turn based. I'm into
Okay.
that kind.
Hmm. You see, I have a different taste on RPGs. I'm more of like a platforming guy where they give you a little bit more free reign instead of like a linear path.
Yeah, that,
Well, I mean,
get
the
that.
RPGs I like to play, they're not usually linear. It's an open world. You can go do optional quests, etc.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess Skyrim, that's sort of another thing I like, but I get bored of that fairly easily.
I mean, it's a pretty old game.
You know, Morrowind's pretty good. But regardless, we got you back now, Jimmy. You back?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. Connectivity problems on my end. Don't know what that's
Uh,
about.
no worries. So, as I said before, this week's topic is the LCS. We now have 3 people with the color blue, making me feel amazing because I am now by myself.
Indifferent.
Indifference.
Yes. So, what was your guys' thoughts on the final standings of the LCS? We all know Cloud9 and Vulcan already guaranteed first and second pretty much before this week.
Yeah.
TSM did finish third. Curse finished fourth. I don't know about you guys. That
Wait,
surprised
no.
me.
I thought they did
No?
worse. I thought they were like
Actually,
down
yeah,
by
they-
coast.
No, Curse was fourth.
Curse ended up fourth. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think that would happen. I thought like coast would end up higher before them, but I guess not.
Curse went like 4-0 this week. They went nuts.
It picked
Or
up their
4-1,
shit.
4-1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
4-1.
they went 4-1.
I'm actually
CLG?
surprised at that about that curse being fourth. I thought they would place way lower.
Yeah, I honestly before this game went in, I thought Coast was gonna outplace Curse. I thought Curse might not even make it, but Coast
Yeah.
choked this week and just was not playing up to.
I'm also surprised that Vulcan played the way that they did. I had more higher hopes for those.
I predicted Vulcan going 5-0, so I actually had a pretty good. I think the only prediction I had incorrect this week was the Curse versus Dignitas game. I had Dignitas beating Curse. Besides that one game, I can't really think of any other one I had. I think I had Dig beating CLG. And I had CLG beating Curse also on the one of the last games. Those are my only 2 games I guessed incorrect this week. So
Yeah. CLG did not perform.
no, CLG did not come to play. CLG actually finished in 6th because of this.
Mhm.
I think what they did was right though, at least taking off Hotshot, or he did that himself. I mean,
He did that himself, and I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Before the season started, they got rid of Hotshot. They brought back Big Fat GG, or sorry, as
Big
you guys
Fat
probably know,
LP.
Big Fat LP. He used to be called GG, so that's how I know him by. And I feel like that was a really good point. And they also brought in Nian. I feel
I
like
think
that was overall.
I think TSM needs to do that.
Who do you think they need to drop though?
Reggie.
Not
Not even.
impressive
I'm
at
not
all.
a Reggie. I'm not a Reggie hater. Reggie's a fine
See-
person in my opinion, but he's going out of the meta entirely.
So here's the thing about that though. Like, I can agree that Reggie right now is pretty problematic for TSM. The thing is though, Reggie is also probably their greatest asset because they have like a really high impact shot caller like Reggie. Like, they don't get into like these CLG like situations where it's like, what do I do? What do I do? Who's the shot caller? I don't know. That kind of stuff. So, like, I mean, technically,
Reggie- Good.
technically Chauster's the team captain of that team, but I mean, is he really making the shot calls? And if he is he doing it at a level where everybody's committing to him? Just based off of CLG's the manner that they play, I don't really see that, to be quite honest.
Right now, like Reggie basically says, go here, and everybody will go there. And even if everybody thinks it's not necessarily they'll put out their opinions, but they will still go there. And that's good and bad at the same time. You've seen situations where Reggie roams top, caused everybody to come, causes them to get 4-0'd. Like, it was ridiculous. But then you've seen plays where Reggie brings everybody in and it causes an ace because of it. So Reggie makes some very high some very good plays at times, but then once again, I think he just needs to just settle down and just be more aware of what's going on, maybe,
I
and just make better plays.
I personally believe it's because everyone on TSM is passive, but Reggie. Like Dyrus, wicked passive. He doesn't really even talk much during games. Special, he talks a lot, and he's actually voices his opinion. And then the odd one, he doesn't say anything. And Wild Turtle's the newbie, so he really has no say anyway now.
My personal opinion on TSM right now, they need to cut X Special. X Special
Isn't he related to Reggie though?
I don't care. No,
No. I'm just saying.
No, I really don't. I don't think he is. I think they were just. He's one of the founders who started the team with Reggie. They're really good friends, if I remember correctly. But the thing about it that like really hurts him is I feel in lane X Special's doing fine, but in many team fights this week X Special did little to nothing. Like there was one game. Who was it against? I can't even remember. Against Vulcan, where like X Special was just like in the middle of the fight, had his ult, was throwing some Qs and some Ws pretty much, died before he could even ult, and had exhaust up still, if I remember correctly. So it was just what were you doing? Like he just was doing nothing in so many team fights. And I feel like that's kind of been the issue this whole season with him.
And I wanted someone else's opinion. What do you think about Velocity? What do you think went wrong there?
They're the greatest team of all time. I don't know what you're talking about. They pulled off the amazing jungle singed. That was the most amazing thing I have seen in a long, long time, sir.
I don't think one thing equates 23 losses. I really don't.
All right. Yeah,
I can tell you what their issue is, like straight up, and it's very simple. It's something that's very difficult. It's the one thing that a lot of teams had last season, which is they can't finish. If you look at Velocity stats, in the first half of the game, Velocity is almost always in the lead. Like they've been in the lead against every team in the LCS this season by 25 minutes in. Their issue is they can't finish. Every time they're ahead, they don't push their lead. They fall behind, and then they get picked off, or they make a small mistake. They lose a dragon. Next thing you know, they're behind in gold, and now the other team is really good at finishing, and they push their lead. So if Velocity can just learn how to finish and do stuff like that, I think they'll definitely improve. The pickup of Echo was huge in my opinion. Vile Rose is a great player, but he's no Echo.
They needed a definite shot caller, in my opinion.
That was the
That
thing.
would help.
The thing that crippled them by the end was not having a shot caller. Like talking seriously, like I don't think that mechanically they're deficient. In fact, if you talk to a lot of people, it seems like mechanically they're just fine. It's closing out games and just team fighting in general where they really don't perform. So
They lack, like especially at the last few weeks, they lack the shot caller. Chris is an okay player, but I don't feel like he's one of their strongest players. I feel like that was definitely hurting them a lot also. So that's my biggest thing. So Velocity and Coast, they got to go through the pre-reg, the tournament again in order to have a chance to make it back into the LCS.
Really?
right.
Yes.
Didn't
So
Chris have to do that?
No, Chris, not yet.
No, but I
last
mean, like,
season?
didn't they? Yeah.
No. Last season they finished second. So
I thought last season
I
they
thought-
finished fourth.
no, they finished second in the weekly part, but in the tournament they
Okay.
finished fourth. Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, because I think that the teams that went into relegation, one was Marn,
Marn.
one was
and
CLG,
Complexity.
and Complexity. So those are the three.
No, there's four.
There was four?
Yeah, it was CLG, Marn, Complexity, and Dignitas.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What
then
about
what-
Dignitas for you guys? You
I
think
like
Kiwi
Dig.
Kid? You think Kiwi
I
Kid's
think-
good?
I think Kiwi Kid needs to smile a little less. But yeah, so what happens is you throw those 8 teams. You're gonna throw the bottom 4 teams, which is already Velocity, and Coast, then the bottom two teams, which we'll discuss who we think it is later, into a tournament with 8 other teams. And what they do is the 4 teams or the 2 teams that finish in top 6 in the relegation in the promotion tournament get buys, and the 2 teams who didn't don't. Or then I think it's like single elimination, and yep, whoever makes it to top 4 join the LCS with the other 4 teams.
Hmm.
So that's the way they usually do it. I'm pretty stoked to see how this goes.
I'm ready to see Worlds already.
God, I'm so sad I can't go.
I think everyone's ready for that.
I was supposed to be going to Worlds this year again, but yay Army!
God, that
Yay
sucks.
Army! Yeah, it's unfortunate. But so let's talk about some of the games this week. I wanted to hear what your guys' maybe hypest game or hypest moment was that you watched this week, or maybe your favorite team comp, anything essentially. What was something that you saw that made you really happy when you were?
Wait, are we starting with me again, or?
Of course.
Dude. This is only the 3rd time. It's kind of.
It's always left to right, man. Always left to right.
Okay. Well, I think first off, I should mention that I love the fact that Ari is seeing competitive play now. Like, I have played her since she first came out, and I am glad that she has found a comp that she can fit in. As far as matches go, like, I feel like this week was like everyone playing it pretty safe. The only thing that kind of like turned me down a little bit is when Balls face checked the bush.
Oh, that was
During
great.
Vulcan.
That
Like,
was so great.
it was. Oh my god.
I felt this was like season 1 all over again with
Yeah.
Double Lift, just like, oh, I'm gonna check this bush. Oh no, I got wrecked.
Yeah, like, seriously. What do you expect to happen when you face check a bush?
And, like,
It's ridiculous.
After the interview, they were like, we knew that they were in the bush, but
Oh
we just
my
went
God.
in there anyway.
I feel like they're taking it really leisurely just because they were like, what was the record going into the match? It's like,
Yeah. Speaking of what you're talking about, they the last game I watched of them, they had the interview with them, and they said, now we can troll the rest of our games, right?
I think
Yeah,
so.
but they weren't being. They weren't really being serious when they were.
It
saying
doesn't. I mean, it's just like making fun of all the other teams. Like, it's still a negative thing to say.
That's kind of like. They've kind of been like that all season, though. So
I know. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's the only thing I don't like about C9.
they're definitely not like the face of League of Legends, you know. But they've proven yet again that they are a great team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you think they're gonna fail.
I'll explain that later. What about you, Jimmy? Even though I already know this answer, what was your favorite moment this week?
I had a couple. Like, I mean, it was. I had a couple of them. Like, I mean, the Victor pick from Velocity. Even though I knew that it wasn't gonna end well, like that was pretty exciting from my point of view because it's like, well, at least we're seeing Victor getting played at a high enough level. But if we're going to go into like actual serious matches, the one game where I was like, oh snap, are they gonna pull this off? Was Dignitas versus CLG the first time with the
Yes.
Pantheon Xin Zhao pick. I was like, what are
yeah, I saw
they
that pick.
doing? And they made it work. They made a Pantheon Xin Zhao team absolutely work. They had absolutely no AP. Zach was their only AP damage, if I remember correctly. And it was just an art, like, you expected CLG to just be like, oh, okay, we're just going to stack armor and that's that. But they just couldn't deal with it. So.
No. What the second game versus CLG Dig, who did Scaru run mid that game? Do you remember?
I want to guess it was Zed, but I can't remember.
Yeah. Okay. I think it was. That's what I was thinking. Go ahead.
I thought it was Zed because I remember the commentator was like mentioning it all the time. It's like, oh, he played Zed and he could solo almost anyone and he carried that game. I was like,
that's right. That's right.
Isn't that Zed anywhere though?
that's true. But
That's pretty strong. That is pretty strong right now.
they're specifically mentioning it a lot.
Okay. And what about you over there, Mr. RedTrainer? Sir.
Well, I didn't have the capacity to watch every single one of the games, but I did see TSM versus Cloud9. Those are my two hype teams right now. And I'm a huge TSM fan. And I went in rooting for them and knowing that they were probably going to lose. And after Dyrus went 0-3, I just hung my head in shame as as Sneaky just wrecked the entire team.
Yeah.
I didn't understand how they would let someone like a nerfed Draven just demolish them entirely. I
Well, I really don't understand why TSM let Cloud9 play their Ashe Zyra combo, because that's kind of their bread and butter bottom, and it's so good. And I don't know why they just allowed that. It's just, not many people have been able to stop Cloud9 Ashe Zyra bottom, so what people have been doing is picking Zyra themselves or banning Zyra. So
I mean,
I just
they've
feel like
lost. They've lost to C9. I'm pretty sure every time they played, right?
Yeah, they were 0-5 or 0-4 versus C9, whatever it is.
I'm
0-4.
a little bit disappointed.
No, wait. I thought TSM beat Cloud9 once. That's
No.
something I was. No?
The only teams that have been able to beat Cloud9 are CLG, Vulcan, and
Vulcan. CLG, Vulcan, and Vulcan.
CLG, Vulcan. Okay.
Yeah, Vulcan
I thought there was a
is
third
2 of the
team.
losses. No.
No, they only
Okay.
have 3 losses this week.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, that's that. Okay, my personal favorite was Chris versus Dignitas, because that game was so sloppy, I know, but it had
Oh
a
my
really hyped
goodness.
finish. It had a really hyped finish. It was essentially, I wouldn't say a base race, but see, Chris decided to push Dignitas' base when Dignitas had like 2 seconds to respawn, and essentially everybody on Dignitas was 1 hit away from dying, and the base was destroyed. Curse, everybody on Curse was 1 hit, and then the base was destroyed. If Dignitas would have been able to kill them before the base would have been destroyed, Dignitas would have won that game, because they would have had enough time to push that down and win right then and there.
No,
Because they're too silent for pushing.
if you look at the replay, Voyboy was actually TPing in to finish the job in case they did die.
Was he?
Yes. So they had that game solidified already, unless there was no way they could prevent that loss at that point. Yeah. I do agree though that it was a pretty hype game. It was a really tense match. Like, it was one of those matches where you knew that the first team to commit a horrible mistake was going to be the team that lost it. And even though, in my opinion, it was pretty much a cripple fight because of how sloppy it was, like, it was a good show, nonetheless.
Most definitely. All right. So what kind of crazy comps did you guys see today? I don't think there was really anything too crazy or anything, but what was there like comps that you were looking into that helped kind of made you wonder about it or anything like that?
Are we counting the velocity stuff or no?
Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not?
I feel like this week was pretty straightforward with comps, wasn't it?
It was pretty straightforward, but that's the reason why I'm kind of trying to.
Yeah, I agree. The majority of the picks were pretty predictable. Reggie on Ari was a little bit of a surprise because Reggie hasn't played Ari too much in the past this LCS.
I don't think he's played Ari at all this LCS.
Yeah, so that was a little bit of a surprise, and that started kind of like the whole Ari hype train. And if you looked at Twitch chat when that was going down, like after like the 5th time Ari was picked, it's like, well, incoming Ari nerfs. But if we're gonna count the velocity stuff, the one thing I will say, like going back to that Victor match, it kind of showed that there were some pretty interesting combos you could pull off with Victor with like a Blitzcrank by like having a Blitzcrank grab him and grab an opponent and put them on the stasis field, and that was some pretty interesting plays there that they just couldn't capitalize on.
I feel like every single time you pick a Blitzcrank in any type of match, that's gonna be like your main point of entry to a team fight. And I always feel like that's a downside because if everyone avoids Blitzcrank, he's gonna be semi-useless in the middle of a team fight. He's all about picking them off, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't give the team that many angles to approach for initiating. I feel like they have a Blitzcrank on the team.
I think Blitzcrank's really strong. I feel like I we didn't see too many Blitzcranks this week, but I feel like Blitzcrank has a lot of uses in and out of team fights.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're pulling a comp that just goes in entirely, like maybe a Karthus and Rumble, Ari, etc., Jarvan maybe, then it's hard for a Blitzcrank to do much anything.
Definitely, I can see that, but that's the reason why Thresh is still being picked. Because Thresh has a lot more utility and such.
He just does more in general.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No.
I feel like
Thresh.
but speaking of Anthony, I was really surprised at those Ari picks.
I was so happy about it, dude. Like,
It's just the DFG on Ari is amazing.
Yeah.
It's really strong.
It just 100 to 0 people.
it makes her burst so good. I love it. Absolutely love it.
That's why I think that instead of nerfing Ari, because I don't think that they're gonna really nerf her, because it didn't seem like she was a presence, sure, but that was more so because of Deathfire Grasp. I think we're gonna see a nerf to Deathfire Grasp before a nerf to Ari, in my opinion.
Her kit's really like straightforward. Like, there's a lot of chances to counterplay it because all you really need to do is like avoid the charm, and then you're pretty much in the clear. I do feel like it is the problem with the DFG is just a little bit more powerful with her, but it's DFG, so.
Well, even if you missed the charm, and you have to be lucky to have minions around you, because all 3 of her or 4 of her orbs, I don't remember how many there are, will hit you, and her ult as well, and that's just a lot of damage. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Moose?
I was just doing some research. He played Ari 2 of the 5 games, right?
Think so?
Let me double check this. I want to see the Cloud9 game. No Ari. What about Cloud9 1?
He played it against Coast. I remember that.
Played it against Coast and Velocity, and he did not play it against Curse. Or I'm sorry, he played it against Curse. Played it against. Yeah. Okay. So he played it against Curse and he played it against Coast. He did not play it against Velocity. He played Karthus versus Velocity. So in the 2 games he played, he did not actually build Deathfire Grasp once.
Interesting.
Really?
Did not build DFG. So he went. Oh wait, I'm a lying sack of shit.
He went DFG against Coast.
He went DFG both games.
Yeah,
my
DFG is
You are a
staple
liar.
on her. DFG is
lying
staple
sack of
on Ari.
Well, see, when I
man.
saw that DFG, they changed the pictures on it, and for some reason I thought it was the Abyssal Scepter, because I thought they also changed the Abyssal Scepter's picture, and I was just.
You're trying
I'm
to
a
make me a liar.
I'm a lying sack of shit. Regardless, he basically. Wild Turtle did really well against Curse, and Ari did really well both games as well. And then Wild Turtle and Reginald did extremely well on both those games, and so did Dyrus.
I was happy to see Twitch because he gets played not that often, and I love seeing him in LCS games.
I feel like Twitch has been seeing a lot more play, and it's pretty nice. He brings a lot of stealth to the
Submarine.
The
There you
submarine, yeah.
Submarine.
submarine.
Oh, God.
Comes in, releasing them torpedoes.
That was so good. I love hearing the commentators just like, he's a submarine! He's a submarine! And it's just like, we get it.
Yes, good times.
So I forgot. I was watching someone the other day, and they were playing Vayne, and they bought a Stinger,
Oh,
and I remember
Oh,
the
That was double lift.
commentators. Yeah, the commentators were like, "Why is he building a Stinger? Did he accidentally click it next to the Zeal?" And I was laughing the entire time. I was like, "That's viable. I don't get why they're
Well, the reason why
mulling."
is because on an 80 carry, it's there's a pretty traditional like 5 eyes. There's like 6 different items you build, and it's like you either build Bloodthirster, Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, or God, Static Shiv. Yep. Bork, Boots, Last Whisper, and GA. Those are like the 8 items you basically build on an 80 carry, and you just determine which 6 you want from the 8. And I guess Zephyr's okay, but most people don't build Zephyr until they sometimes replace Boots for Zephyr, but that's no longer as viable since Boots have the add-on of Home Guard, so it's no longer as viable anymore.
See, but it was the fact that they were playing against like Nasus, Rumble, Ziggs, and Zyra. I was like, I would immediately go into Zephyr after getting my damage items.
We'll see. Okay, I want to I want to find this game because I know what happened was he went, and they were talking about this. He went Bork Zephyr, and people were wondering why I do that, and it was because he was gonna go Bork Zephyr Last Whisper, and Zephyr's a better item than both Static Shiv and Phantom Dancer if you want it strictly for attack speed and damage. The reason why the Phantom Dancer and Static Shiv do a little bit more for you is because it has critical chance. So if you're going straight Infinity Edge afterwards, those will be better. And I understand why he went Zephyr. It definitely makes a lot of sense. But I also understand why they were confused about it though, because it's not something you would see very often.
Oh, and that game, I was also confused how Zion Spartan 107.
Yeah, I don't. We don't talk about that game. Zion Spartan, because Zion Spartan. Okay, Zion Spartan played who that game?
He was jungling Nasus.
Jungling Nasus.
they put him into the jungle.
Why
Yeah.
was he jungling? That's the issue.
Yeah.
He's not a jungler. Like, I understand Nintendo hasn't been playing that strong, but I don't feel like there was any reason to put him in the jungle.
Wait, which game are we talking about?
Coast CLG.
I think he can be fine in the jungle, but he excels at top because of his easy exchanges and his lifesteal.
No, I'm just talking about Zion Spartan. Right?
Oh,
Put
okay.
Zion Spartan in the jungle. Nasus is fine top and or jungle. I feel like that Nasus is better in the jungle. But I just don't understand why they put him there. She's like,
No, that's why I was confused as well.
Coast had the victory over Curse, but Nintendo fed so hard. Nintendo finished like 2-9, 2-9 and 6, and had just the most ridiculous. He was trying to make the most ridiculous plays. Like, it was terrible. That's terrible.
God, Zion. So disappointing sometimes.
And that's the thing that I've realized about Curse. I mean not Curse, Coast. It's kind of become a Zion carry game. If Zion doesn't carry, they don't really perform.
So
Yeah.
what? They're becoming a new CLG.
Becoming the new old CLG.
When they
Yeah.
rely out on
Double
exclusively
lift.
double lift. Like, I mean,
Was
now
it-
it's like, I mean, they rely on double lift a bit, but like now Link has been carrying his weight a bit more. Is kind of
Yeah.
the thing.
It used to be protect the double lift comp.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to make a point. The most amazing comp I think I've ever seen was it was an Asian team. I think it was Taipei Assassins, or maybe it was Taipei Snipers. I can't really remember. But they ran Vayne, Tarek bottom, Janna mid, who was top? Another support top and another support jungle. Oh no. It was Janna mid, Tarek top, I think it was, and it was Lulu Vayne bottom, and then another jungler and like another support in the jungle. And it was just they had so much peel for the team for Vayne that Vayne would be able to clean up every single time. It was ridiculous.
Just a full support team with an AD carry.
Yeah, it was a full support team with an AD carry. And it worked out perfect for them.
Well, I mean, stuff like that can work out once in a while.
Of course, it's
Depending
not something you're gonna be able to do every game, but when you make it happen,
I think I know what you're talking about because when I was playing, I saw a bunch of Tarek tops after that, and they were just failing really hard.
Can't pull off this crazy Korean crap.
Just like that Singe, man. No, that old Singe proxy. Now that was disgusting. I never want to have to see that again.
I mean, it's Singe proxy, dude. Like the
I mean, like,
philosophy.
The whole Singe go into your base and proxy every single lane. Come kill me if you want to. It does. I don't care. I just get fed off of CS. And then I'll kill you guys after I'm 0-15.
God.
Yeah, I don't think that Velocity was actually taking most of their games in the most serious manner, to be quite honest. They were using that, I guess, to experiment some strats, which, I mean, good on them. Like, I mean, at least they're providing a little bit of variety to, like, what was otherwise a really, at that point, just cookie-cutter team, so.
Cookie cutter.
Cookie-cutter. And, I mean, I was pretty entertained by that match because it was so serious for like that entire day, and then you just had this Velocity game where it's like, yo, we don't know what this Singe is gonna do next. Where is the Singed? Where is the Singed?
Did they even have a chance if they won all their matches this week?
No. I
Okay.
think they were. Wait, no. They had to essentially win all of them. But I mean, the first team that Velocity was against was Cloud9, so
Oh, that's
they have
terrible.
no chance.
yeah, Velocity had to win all their games, and basically every other team had to lose all their games. But I'll be right back. Also, I want to make a point. It was Tarek, Vayne bottom, Janna mid, Lulu top, and Nunu in the jungle, and it was versus Singapore Sentinels.
So wait, was it Taipei Snipers or was it Taipei Assassins?
I don't know.
He just
I
told us.
actually don't know the Asian teams very well.
Yeah,
mean-
yeah, I don't follow the Southeast Asian scene. From what everybody says, though, it's a pretty weak region, or at least it's perceived to be a pretty weak region. Their strats, I don't know, like they're pretty weird, and it's pretty interesting because, like, I think that an unknown actually won the Southeast Asian qualifiers for World.
Really?
Yeah, it was the second place Philippine team actually won their place in Worlds. So
Then again, it is also a lot harder to follow the Korean scene just because they are on a different time than us, and sometimes like you can't always guarantee finding the right commentating.
yeah, but that's the Korean scene. The Korean scene and the Southeast Asian Asia scene are two different things.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's Garena? What's that?
Garena is the
That's-
Southeast
that's-
Asian team.
Oh, okay, I thought so.
Publisher that publishes for Riot in Southeast Asia, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they do. I didn't know if that was Southeast Asia or not.
Moose. So who was the one that pulled that attack up? Was it Taipei Snipers or Taipei?
It was Taipei Assassins who did it versus Singapore Sentinels.
Oh, so who was top again?
Lulu top, Tarek Vayne bottom, Janna mid, and Nunu in the jungle.
I've also seen a couple Lulu tops. It's really annoying, actually.
It was a really good, it was a really awesome video. I'm actually gonna post that. I'm not gonna post that because it is no longer available. So, never mind.
Well,
Speaking of the
private
Sentinels,
video.
though, they did not make it again for the second year in a row.
wow.
They did not make it.
They did not make it. It was an unknown team from Southeast Asia that took their spot. They beat them.
Really?
Yep. I don't even remember the name of the team because of how unknown they were. 'Cause, I mean, they're from the Philippines.
Team Miniski.
Miniski?
Team Miniski.
And
So
not
it's
only
like some rookie team or something, or what?
Let
Well,
me put it this way. I can't click to see their information. I can see
Yeah.
Stagnoport Sentinels. I can see the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. I can see Saijin Jokers, and I can even see the Titans. But I can't see their info because there's not enough info on them.
Yeah, because I mean, what I've heard from like Reddit is that they weren't even supposed to be there. The team that was supposed to be there, the first place Philippine team, had some passport problems. So because they couldn't like travel to the Southeast Asian qualifiers, this team, Miski or whatever it's called, actually took the first place spot, and then they won.
It's kind of sad when stuff like that happens, though.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're only bringing one person from Southeast Asia.
So, speaking of something that happened a while ago, how do you feel about League of Legends not being registered as a sport in America?
I like it. I like it because of issues such as how that team couldn't go to Southeast Asia because of a passport issue. We can bring all these players now for Worlds with no issues, and that's something I think is really cool.
I feel like that NA isn't going to be NA anymore.
It's gonna be for like Asian teams sometimes, or
Yeah,
like
I mean,
Euro teams.
Because some dude who just has a lot of money, who just like, I want to make a little team. Let me just buy off every other player that's good in every other country and put them into a team. And then we'll be NA.
I think that's a lot harder than you're making it out to be, because first you have to actually find these good players. And
I mean, like what I'm pretty sure it was CLG that did that, right? They bought
Yeah.
they got what's his face?
Edward, you're talking about
Yeah.
Curse.
Curse, my bad.
Well, I don't think that's really how it worked. Chris was leaving Gambit regardless.
You mean
And-
Edward.
Edward was leaving Gambit, not
I
Curse.
said Chris, yeah, Edward was leaving Gambit regardless on the whole situation because, but many people have agreed Genja is hard to work with. Like even their new support already said, he's like, yeah, working with Genja sucks. He's just one of those AD carries that's just not easy to work with because he just has such a unique play style. So Edward wanted out, and he wanted to see the NA scene was one of his like things that he had said. I remember him saying he wanted to see the NA scene. He wanted to see it. He thought it was not as weak as people said it was. So
Well, what I said was a little rough. I was putting it out there too far, but I meant like you could just take any Asian player that left the team or is a free agent, now hire them on a team if you wanted.
Like I said, I think it's a
Easier.
little.
I think it's going to be much more difficult than that because
Yeah,
one, they got
'cause
to
I
live
mean-
in North America and bring in and.
Well, if they're
It
getting
doesn't-
paid, they'll definitely come.
But this is the thing though. It's not as you see the being a sport now. If you register them they're allowed to come to North America, but I don't think they're allowed to live in North America necessarily for long periods of time with it.
Yeah, it
So
makes it easier for international teams to come to America to compete. It's easier for them to get visas, but once you start, like, I think that is different from like actually getting into a team, getting a house, and actually competing in the LCS. I think that is a little bit of a difference there.
Well, I'm saying that getting a visa to live here for a few years is easier. I mean, all they have to do is sit here for a year and play. And then if it works out, they could sign for more or just go back to their country.
Yeah, like I said, it's something that I don't think it's gonna work out that easily. I don't feel like people are just gonna be like.
Well, it happened with the NBA. It happened with NFL. That was my point.
But if you look at the NBA and NFL right now, it's still mostly American players.
Well, I'm saying that they've expanded out since then to.
Yeah, but that's not a bad thing. That provides more competition. More competition forces you to improve. Being forced to improve ups the game. If our game gets improved now, we can compete with Asia easier. So it's hidden bad. It's good and bad.
No, I didn't say that it was all bad. I was just saying that there was some bad in there.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Oh, silence. Not good.
So here's the real question: how's the NA bracket gonna go?
What do you mean by like any
Who do you
bracket?
predict winning it all? Who do you predict in top 3?
Hmm. That's a little hard.
So I'll walk you guys through it. The way it's gonna work is Curse versus Dignitas, TSM versus CLG. The winner of TSM and CLG will play Vulcan. The winner of Curse and Dignitas will play C9, Cloud9.
Hmm.
I have a pretty this changed
Wait,
what
say
I
that
originally
again?
thought. So 4 and 5 play, which is Dignitas and Curse, and then CLG and TSM play. The winner of TSM and CLG plays Vulcan, and the winner of Dignitas and Curse play Cloud9.
Hmm.
I don't predict Curse winning it all. I mean Cloud9 predicting winning it all.
I
like-
predict Cloud9 winning it all.
I feel like Cloud9 is gonna come in 2nd or 3rd.
Really?
I don't see how you could see that after they went 25-3.
Because that's 25 and 3 of playing singles, playing a one-on-one, playing just best of one. Best of one changes everything.
But they
I've
stomped in that best of one. I don't think that they would just stomp and then like, oh, we suck now.
Playing a best of
lose.
3 is completely different because Cloud9 is gonna win the first game, right, of the best of 3.
Just straight out, yeah.
Let's say they win it, right? And they're playing against TSM. TSM is gonna learn. So game 2, they're gonna up their game. Game 2 is gonna be close. TSM's gonna win it. Let's just say. Game 3, TSM's gonna continue moving forward and is gonna win it again. TSM, I feel like a lot of these North American teams have been in this pressure situation. Have been in these situations. Cloud9 has not. Cloud9 has never proven to be in a situation with this much pressure on it. The closest thing they've been in is their qualification match to get into the LCS, and this is on another level of pressure. And
I feel like
also it was a best of one also for the qualifiers.
I feel like TSM is only they like strive on movement, because if they get down, they stay down. I haven't seen them come up from being on a really bad losing streak that often. I've seen it a couple times. I mean, of course, any team can do it, but TSM, when they win, they just win progressively because they're in higher hopes now. And I feel like that'll play a bit into the Cloud9 game.
I feel like they got 2 weeks to practice, right? I feel like in these August 30th through the 1st. So they got 2 weeks to practice, essentially. 2 weeks to work on their stuff, 2 weeks to talk. I feel like all they're going to do is they're going to practice hard. Cloud9's going to be Cloud9, and they're going to keep being cocky. And I feel like that's going to hurt them. I feel like it's going to hurt them in the best of 3 series.
Did I hear some resentment in that tone? Oh
Trust
my
me,
god.
I'm the guy.
I heard some hatred.
I just want to
right
make
there.
a point. When I heard Cloud9 was going into the qualification match, I said Cloud9's going to finish top 4 in the LCS. I didn't think they were going to finish first. They surprised me, but I said they were going to be for top 4. Cloud9 has been has been a team I've known about for a long time. Elimination is the best support, period. That
He's
man
pretty good.
does so much. So much. He is he does all the math and everything. He is insane. He's the one who comes up with their team comps. He's the one who has he's their team captain essentially. I don't think he's the shot caller, but I know he's the team captain that sets things up for picks and bans. I feel like I don't see Cloud9 winning it though. As much of a Cloud9 fan as I am, I can't see them winning it.
So I'm just going to interject here while there's good place to interject and just say I disagree with you, Moose. You your theory of wait, well, here's the thing. 2 out of 3s are completely different. TSM is just going to somehow magically download the secret to beating Cloud9.
No, TSM isn't going to beat Cloud9. I don't. If it's TSM versus Cloud9,
Okay,
Cloud9 is going to win.
Okay, so
You just said wait. You just said that they were gonna lose the first round.
I was using TSM as an example.
Okay.
as an example. Okay, so let's go through the probabilities. Let's actually walk it through. Let me walk you through what's going to happen, in my opinion. So here's the thing. It's going to be Curse versus Dignitas, correct?
Correct.
That match has to happen before C9 does anything.
Correct.
Whoever-
C9 has a bye. C9 and
so
Vulcan
let-
have a bye.
So let's use those two. Dignitas beating Cloud9. Is that going to happen?
Nah.
Yes.
Yes?
Really?
They have
I
a-
predict.
they-
I predict Cloud9 winning. Barely.
I don't
predicted going to
think-
game 3. I predicted going to game 3. I feel like Dignitas has the tools to win.
Okay,
I'm not gonna put all of my eggs in one basket, but I think C9 is just going to pub stomp the first person they face.
I think that... Okay, so here's what I think. I think
If
that
Curse plays
plays
C9,
Cloud9. No, they're going to get
they're
stopped.
gonna get stomped.
If Dignitas plays Cloud9, if they pull off some cheese, then they might get a win off of Cloud9.
I think it goes.
But they just
C9.
deny Scar, don't they? Their mid guy just has so much of a deeper pull than Scar does.
Well, you know what? Like, saying that Skara doesn't have a pool, I don't know. The Pantheon kind of says otherwise.
I mean,
I don't know. Scar's been pulling out a lot of crazy stuff. Plus, I think Master Yi is going to be in the next one, and Scar likes playing him in Master Yi, even if though it is going to be AD.
aren't they on the patch where Master Yi is
don't-
like broken? Or
Master Yi is like broken, but he's not available to them right now. I'm not sure if he's going to be available for that tournament though.
I don't think he will. It's just like, didn't they do that last time? They had a patch and they didn't do it for
The
even
patch is
all the
already
way
out.
to the world.
3.10 is out. Is it 3.10? Shit. I forget.
3.10 is the thing that they played on these matches. That is
Yeah.
correct.
So the Master Yi change is in effect for this, but Master Yi is disabled. Well, he was disabled for Super Week. Whether they make him enabled or not for the tournament, that's up to them.
So that is going to be one of those... if you remember one of the things that we talked about before this podcast, Moose, one of the interesting statistics, and the only reason I'm even entertaining your theory, is the fact that Cloud9 tends to underperform directly after a patch. This is one of those really small statistics that, like, every single time they have a match right after, like, a huge change to, like, a couple of characters, Cloud9 tends to fumble a bit. However, they tend not to fumble for too long, so...
I feel like that if anyone's going to be Master Yi, it's going to be a top laner like 9 or just... I don't know. I don't feel like that is ever going to be a mid again.
really?
Yeah.
I don't feel like the mid lane is where Yi is supposed to be. His kit doesn't just fit there.
He could also fit into the jungle. Like Meteos could pick him up.
Yeah, but his jungle's kind of weak, even though that.
We're on air again.
Yep.
Well.
There he is. Does he know he's
Sorry
muted?
about that.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know what exactly went down right there.
Okay. But, like, going back to the playoffs discussion, I don't see Dig or Curse winning. So let's
I don't
go...
see Dig winning either. I see Dig being able to beat Cloud9 though.
I see them maybe getting one match.
I see every team being able to beat Cloud9, but doing it is
I don't see every team being able to beat Cloud9. I don't see Curse being able to beat Cloud9. I don't see Curse being able to beat Cloud9.
So
I
let
think Vulcan loses to Cloud9 right now.
You think Vulcan loses at Cloud9, and that was the only team I'd be like, maybe Vulcan beats Cloud9. Maybe Vulcan. They are a strong force. If you've been looking at the gold at the amount of gold that they've been getting, at the number of kills they've been getting, they've been progressively meeting up with Cloud9 as the LCS has progressed. So of all the teams, statistically speaking, that are on par with Cloud9 or maybe even better, it's Vulcan. That is the only team I'm like, okay, you know what? They might be Cloud9. But at that point, if they face off against Vulcan, they're already guaranteed top 4 at that point. Now, let's assume CLG or TSM beats Vulcan, which I don't think CLG is capable of doing it. If TSM faces off against Vulcan, it's going to be an interesting match. But let's go through those two teams. CLG, I don't think they have it anymore. Right now, they're on full-on tilt. They have to look at their strats and figure out what's wrong. I don't think they're capable of beating Cloud9. What do you think, Moose?
No, not unless they need to completely change their mindset right now. They're in a
Okay.
bad place. They're not like thinking a lot of too well and everything. So
And then so like under your theory, TSM is perfectly capable of beating Cloud9 because they've been in this situation
let me
before. They've been in playoffs. And they have the experience to beat Cloud9. No, I don't think that. Like, I think that, to be honest, they do have experience, and they might stay cool under pressure. But I think that mechanically, strategically, and just from like a team fight. Quit. Nah, that's the joke I'm gonna run with. You
Are we
rage
having
quit,
problems
Moose?
here, Moose?
no, I did not rage quit. I think one of my USB ports on my computer is going bad, so my headset keeps dropping.
He's
So I had to
debunking
refresh.
what I'm saying. I must leave.
But I feel okay. This is what I think it's gonna be between 4 teams right now. I feel like TSM is gonna beat TLG. I'm gonna run my prediction right now. I'm gonna run my prediction. I'm gonna say my full bracket. What I think. TSM will beat CLG.
No argument there.
Dignitas is going to beat Curse.
No argument there. Even though they won the last match, but I think that Curse is pretty inconsistent.
God, see, then this is where it gets tough. TSM will probably lose to Vulcan.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I think that is probably the hardest match to call, to be quite
I think
honest.
that's the hard. I agree. I think this is the hardest one to call.
I think that one's up in the air.
I think it's Vulcan. See, Vulcan was in the top 3, is in a best of 3 situation last game. They kind of understand some pressure. I feel like you guys don't give this enough credit. I feel like you guys think, oh, best of 3, oh shit.
Well,
No,
they had to go through the promotion series. Come the fuck on. They've been in that situation before.
I'm pretty sure they're used to it.
Cloud9. Are you talking about Cloud9 being in that?
Because weren't they in the promotion series, and wasn't that like 2 out of 3?
No, they were all single games. That's why they were so like that made it even more clutch, though, in my opinion, than best of 3s. Because if Dig or Dignitas or Curse just lost one game, they were out. And I remember them talking about that. Dignitas or CLG, I'm sorry, they would have been out.
I don't think you can like put it on Cloud9 saying that they're going to be bad for a best out of 3 because you don't know if they're going to be bad nor good.
I'm not saying they're going to be bad.
They could be 10 times better in a best of 3. You don't know that.
They've never had to perform in that level. I feel like they might perform just as good at best, but I like I said, I'm going to stick to my prediction. I think whatever team between TSM and Vulcan win and play against Cloud9 is going to beat them. And Cloud9 will come in second. Then Dignitas will come in fourth, and whatever team between TSM and Vulcan, whatever team loses, will beat Dignitas and come in third. That's my prediction. So it's gonna be Vulcan, TSM, and Cloud9 top 3 who qualify for Worlds.
So who else has a prediction right now?
I'll go next. I essentially agree with Moose's initial analysis, which is Curse is going to lose against Dig.
I think most of us are on that one as well.
Yeah, I think most of us can agree up to that point.
Mm-hmm.
C9 versus Dig, like I said, I like Dig, but I just don't see Dig performing at that level.
Yeah.
And I don't see them like figuring out what the key to beating C9 at that just between the 2 out of 3 matches. So I think C9 progresses and beats Dig. Going on the other side of that, CLG versus TSM. CLG is not in a good place right now, so TSM progresses. Then we have Vulcan versus TSM. That's the hardest one to predict. I think that Vulcan wins, though. That is my prediction. Because Vulcan does not have a Reggie factor. And Reggie is a volatile playmaker. Sometimes he is great. He makes the best plays that you can make. Other times he will throw the game for his team.
He just makes a really terrible play sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think that Vulcan beats TSM. C9 versus Vulcan will be interesting as well. It will be interesting as well.
What's that?
I don't know. We're good?
Oh, it's a moose. Okay.
Yeah, I think Moose had an echo effect.
So, Anthony or me?
But,
you're not done?
Yeah, I'm not done because I want to go. Because I think I can predict the top 4. Because at that point, I think C9 versus Vulcan. I think Vulcan wins, to be quite honest.
Ooh.
Vulcan's like wait, which match is this? It's Vulcan versus C9?
C9 for the finals, and I think Vulcan wins.
I'm pretty sure Vulcan wins just because like it.
They have that momentum.
Yeah,
and
trying to. Go ahead.
That's really all I'm basing it off of. Like, I mean, they have that momentum. Statistically, their numbers have been pretty similar to Cloud9's at this point, and
yeah.
Just like they've been trending upwards, so I think that Vulcan is probably the most likely to win. Then for third place, that would leave TSM versus Dig. TSM versus Dig. Who would win on that one?
I'm pretty sure TSM would have a pretty good chance against Dig.
Yeah, but Dig
I don't know. Scar is pretty good against Reggie.
It would be a pretty interesting match. That's another one that I think would be a little difficult to call. But
I think if TSM wins first, then they'll probably win the next.
Yeah.
So, do you think if TSM beats Vulcan, they'll take first? Is that what you're saying?
No. We were talking about Dig.
We were talking about the scenario between TSM versus Dignitas for third place.
Okay.
In his scenario.
Yeah, and that in my scenario.
Okay.
And I think that Dig wins. They've been more consistent than TSM.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
So.
Yeah.
TSM did go on a good spree, though.
But
Yeah.
you also have to think that the Dig doesn't have to deal with the Reggie factor because you don't know what Reggie's going to do and how he's going to affect the team during the games.
Well,
I think it comes down to Wild Turtle.
I think I would say Wild Turtle needs to perform, but TSM beat 3 teams, right? And they beat Curse, Coast, and Velocity. So it's not like they beat Dig or CLG this week. They didn't beat any of the 2 high-profile teams, in my opinion. Like, they beat Curse, sure, but they played Curse first. Like, they beat Curse after Curse beat Velocity, meaning Curse didn't really have that much momentum with them. And I apologize for probably my sound quality sounding like shit. But my headset's like acting up, so I had to switch.
Alright.
Is it that bad, or is it dealable?
It's dealable.
Yeah, it's dealable.
Okay.
So what are your predictions, Leon?
I really am not all that like looking into statistically this. I'm looking on stats for each team, but I'm predicting for like the C9 versus Vulcan match. Vulcan does turn out to be on top just because like against Cloud9 they've proven that they can beat the top team, and it shows in the records and during the LCS. So I feel like it definitely shows on how well Vulcan can do. The only factor that has to be into that is if they do lose against, I think it's TSM, right?
Yeah.
They'll be going against TSM to go against Cloud9 if they in the Swiss.
Well, yeah, because I mean, like, it's going to be Vulcan against TSM unless you're thinking CLG will beat them.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna leave it up to the players and see how it goes. Because there's a lot of factors that have to go into like on picks and bans and which comps each team chooses to go with. So I'm just leaving it up to the weeks come, and we'll see the results.
And so what you're saying is we'll see.
And doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. What you're saying is we'll see what happens, man. It all depends on what they pick.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not all that much of a predictor just because I don't.
Right.
I'm going with the
into
Chris G look. Just a heads up.
Chris G, look, this guy. Double headsetting it up. Holy crap.
You look like one of those StarCraft players, dude, when they just have like three
Oh,
pairs of
yeah.
headphones around their necks, or like, and I'm like,
I
oh.
don't understand why they have that though.
Because they need to wear the regular
Other sponsors
headphones.
gear.
Yeah, the sponsor gear, the head, and the noise canceling.
Cloud9 wears noise canceling headphones, earbuds, other than their sponsors' headphones.
That would be annoying as hell.
Almost every single player in the LCS wears noise canceling headphones other than regular earbuds.
I thought they had to wear the noise canceling.
They do.
So
that is required.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so they don't hear the commentators yelling at each other.
Hmm.
And you also have the sunglasses, or not the sunglasses, but the eyewear, the gunners.
The gunners. Yes.
Holy crap.
Dyrus always wears his gunners.
Yeah.
Oh my
He
gosh.
was like the first person that made me notice what gunners were.
Some people say that they're nice. I've never.
I don't, because there's Flux. I think it's called Flux or Flux or whatever that you can download for your PC, and it does the same effect on your screen that gunners will do while looking at the screen, and it just doesn't help at all with eye pain.
But
Not
they
to
look
me,
so
at least.
freaking rad. They look so
No,
freaking
the
rad.
gunners
though.
look cool. Gunners look cool, but I'm saying that
Right.
the effect that they do for the screen, it doesn't help me that much personally.
Right. Okay. And so, given that Leon just essentially passed the ball over to the future, what's your predictions, RedTrainer?
I don't know if I want to say it because Moose isn't gonna like it.
Who cares what Moose says? I just totally took a dump on his theory. Like, I mean, come on.
He did.
Well, I have C9 just winning it all because
Okay.
I think that they're actually going to do better with a second round pick, because I don't think they're just gonna be stupid like, oh no, we won, now what do we do? Do we play the same thing again, or do we mix it up? I don't think they're gonna be that stupid. They're gonna understand how to play that, and I don't know about the Vulcan and the C9, but I feel like TSM's gonna at least get second or third. And I'm throwing it in the air for those because I can't dictate Vulcan and TSM.
So I think we all kind of agree who we think the top 4 is going to be, but we all have slightly different outcomes.
Yeah.
for it. Except for
Yeah.
Anthony, because Anthony's just like,
I think
Hey,
Curse I think Curse is gonna be the last of anything.
well, once again, the loser of Curse and Dig, and the loser of CLG and TSM don't play, so we don't really know who is last. It's just a tie between them two. But I think CLG and Curse are going into relegation again.
What dictates them going into relegation? Is it just
They
them?
finished last in the tournament.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that everybody can agree there. Like, I mean, there's probably some Curse fans yelling at us saying, like, no, look at their momentum! But I just don't, like, Curse is the most likely to upset. I just don't see CLG.
How much money are you getting for those, Moose?
Yeah, we have to put a pause right here to look at what's going on in Moose's screen here.
Moose is like, he's wearing like 3 pairs of headphones.
It's like my thing's worn out, but you can see there's still series. Is that a magic card?
That's sort of Light and Shadow.
Was that a magic
Ding,
card
ding.
though?
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, I also play
Mastos.
Magic as well.
Huh.
Yeah.
I was really cold, so I needed to put on my headphones to warm
Oh,
me up.
jeez.
Let's see how many he's wearing. He's
Why don't
wearing
you just
1, 2,
you
3,
should just
4.
be like, I had to put on my Steel Series. My Steel Series. Sponsor.
Oh god.
No, this was GamesCon. This one's Logitech.
Logitech generic brand.
Sound blasters. And Bose headphones.
You don't have Beats by
Shout
Dre,
outs to
man?
Bose.
Beats by Dre, yeah, that's the only thing you're missing at this point, man.
I'm sorry, but
Just,
the noise canceling Bose headphones are way better than Beats by Dre.
I think most anything is better than Beats by Dre.
Yeah,
But the bass, dog. The bass.
I'd rather buy Skull Candy.
Yeah.
But
And
did you
that's
hear the
saying
bass
something.
on those things? Dog,
It's like,
damn
whoop, whoop, whoop,
bass.
whoop, whoop. How can you not love that? Oh my god.
I think if you're paying for that, you're paying for Dre's name on the side.
Yeah. Yeah,
They're
it's like
pretty
$50 for the headphones, $200 for his name.
They're pretty fashionable. Yeah.
They're pretty sexy though. You have to say they're pretty sexy.
No.
I personally love my razors, so
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so we got our
I only have a
NA
Razer
finishes.
mouse, so
I got quite a bit of Razer products. I just need a Razer headphones and we'll be good.
why don't you just call
Wait,
them up, ask them for sponsor?
PF, which ones are those that you have there? Which Razer ones?
I forgot what they're called. It's like some black something. I forgot. I will look it up and I will tell you.
But going back on topic, I think that we're all in agreement that the biggest upset here would be CLG actually beating TSM.
I don't see that happening though.
Yeah. Like, I mean, unless they all of a sudden get their act together, which, I mean, we've seen. Like, CLG has a lot of potential. But if this LCS is anything to gauge them off of, they're just not in the right mindset to perform at the world level.
And speaking of CLG, I used to not have any respect for them anymore when Hotshot was there, and I actually gained respect for Hotshot for stepping down and giving it to someone else. I mean, he's still on the sides, not captain, but coaching or whatnot. I forgot what he's doing now with the team, because he's the owner or something like that.
I remember.
He's the founder of CLG. He started the
Yeah.
team, so.
I remember during when he was playing on CLG, like how many like fails he had as players, and everyone's called, oh, he did a hotshot GG. That's it. It's like fail jumping over the barren wall, hotshot GG.
That's just like how Saint is now the Miss Smiter of League of Legends.
Yeah.
Yes.
He doesn't even take smite. He's just like, fuck it, I'm not taking smite.
Because it's gonna mess me up if I take Smite.
Yeah.
That'd be funny if he did.
They'll never see that coming.
Is it the Time Mat? The Time Mat Elite headphones?
No, they're called Black Sharks.
Oh, the Black Shark. Dude, I want to get the Time Mat Elite. Have you seen those?
They look nice.
$100 right now. I could buy them if I wanted.
Too late.
Thinking about it. I'm honestly thinking about it.
They're
But back on topic. So we already know who's making it from Southeast Asia, which is Team Miniski.
Meniski. Oh my god.
There's an
That
international.
sounds like
I
a
don't know
Russian.
any of-
Sounds like a Russian.
I don't
team.
know any of these teams, so I'm gonna say Dark Passage is gonna win because they have a freaking tiger as their icon.
Because they
Which
have a
region is this?
tiger.
Because I want a tiger. I'm like, God.
Which region is
Uh,
this, Moose?
It just says
South.
international wildcard on the LCS. It
Yeah.
goes down on the 21st through the 23rd.
The only team that I can recognize right away is Team Lion. That's
Yeah. Oh,
And they
Oh.
don't have a tiger.
oh no! They also have a tiger. They actually have a lion, which isn't a
Oh.
tiger, but it's a lion. Their name is
Yeah.
spelled lion with a ly.
But if because I watched a little bit of the Latin American scene and they just have not developed. So I
Is
don't
Dark Passage
foresee-
Latin American?
No, there's only one Latin American, because this one is pretty weird, because there's one Latin American team, there is one Brazilian team, there is one Ukrainian team, I think, because they do it by the
Really?
servers that they've introduced. So that's what this bracket is all about here.
I'm actually Ukrainian, so I'm surprised at that.
I don't know if it's Ukrainian, I just totally pulled that one out. Like,
Maybe
it's based on the servers, so I
Held in
think there's a
Turkey,
Hungary team.
Oceania, Brazil,
it
Latin.
could be like Turkey.
Yeah,
That'd
it
be
could be.
weird as well.
Regardless,
Yeah.
it's gonna be Dark Passage.
That's Moose's call just
they
based
sound
on the
cool?
logo.
No, dude, Pain Gaming sounds the best. I don't know about you. Pain Gaming.
Pain
Gaming-
Gaming.
I don't
Gaming
even.
Gear EU?
I don't think we have the right stuff to be talking about those
Yeah,
teams.
no. But I'm predicting.
Can you even name like one member of Dark Passage?
Darkness.
What?
Oh god.
Is another member called Passages?
Pasai.
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 Oh god. Yeah, I don't think we have enough information to give our full predictions on other regions.
I don't even
currently.
know the other regions teams. I know EU, but that's it.
As a shout out to Giovanni in the comments, he asked, "How are we making these predictions?" And we make the predictions based off their performances in previous games, like their momentum that they have and such, and just overall like what we think about the teams and how we think they're going to perform against each other. So they're not necessarily just by numbers, but having statistics helps us also foresee the future in a sense.
Yeah, because we can't just say that Curse is gonna beat everyone just because we're a Curse fan.
Exactly. So that was the question to that he was asking. Besides that, Europe, Lemon Dogs is taking it all.
Lemon Dogs?
Lemon Dogs is taking it all.
I
Actually,
don't-
I think they also have a top 3, right? Yeah, top 3. It's gonna be Lemon Dogs, EG, and Gambit.
Really?
I don't know.
I don't know enough about the European scene to actually call anything. So
I've been keeping up with
I know
Slide now.
EG. I know EG's going to.
EG's been playing tough lately, so I think Ninjas in Pajamas, who came in second, kind of. Check this out, all right? First team, which was Lemon Dogs, they came in first. They finished 18 and 10. Second, third, fourth, and fifth were all 15 and 13.
wow.
That means that the bottom brackets must be really bad.
SK Gaming, which was seventh, was 5th, 13 and 15. Team Alternate was 13 and 15th. They were in sixth. And
I
Meet
actually
Your
haven't
Makers
heard
was
of Team
8 for
Alternate.
20. Alternate? They
Yeah.
were in first place for a while. Then they started going on a crazy losing streak.
That's surprising. Like the EU teams' brackets are better than ours.
Yeah. Well, no, EU's really strong. EU, the first time EU really outperformed NA, I mean NA really outperformed EU was at All Stars, and that's because EU just kind of choked.
That's because wasn't like half of Gambit on the All Stars.
Yeah, it was 3 Gambit members.
Wow.
Yeah.
The thing that the EU team had to contend was the language barrier at that
Yeah.
point, because you had some Russian speakers. I think Ocelot was in there too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Is it
So
not
you had-
Spanish?
Don't most of them speak
Yeah.
English though? Like wouldn't they just all talk English?
No. Team Gambit doesn't really speak very good English.
Gambit is the big outlier there.
Edward
have,
was one
like-
of the few players who had decent English, and that's only because he was preparing. He visited the U.S. a lot.
I didn't like how they did the All Stars. It's just a popularity contest. Nothing
It
else.
really, it really was. But I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard to gauge the area's actual performance aside from mechanics, just using the All Stars.
Why didn't they just put the best statistics with the best statistics and do
Also,
that?
Team Alternate has Aranea. I don't know if you recognize that name, PF. That's probably going to be the only person you really know from Team Alternate. Or and Forlin Lord, I think is how you say it.
Forellen Lord.
Forellen Lord, yeah.
I know
He's also-
Aranea. He sounds
Yeah.
familiar.
He used to play with Fnatic? No. He used to play with one of like a different European team, but
All
Yeah,
I know
I-
is that he used to play with a high team that I remember back then and when. So
yes.
Yeah.
Then Taipei Snipers is making it for freaking Taiwan, Hong Kong, whatever area. Taipei Snipers is strong.
they beat their brother team.
Taipei Assassins isn't even Taipei Assassins anymore, dude. Okay, so their 5 members that they used to have was Bebe, Balls, Stanley, Toys, and a 5th person who I can't think of right now. The 5th person who I can't think of right now took him and their 2 subs and went and made Taipei Snipers.
Wow.
Stanley got released because of bullshit. Toys retired, and Balls is now a subs. Bebe, which is now their 80 carry from. I think he's always been 80 carry. I'm not sure. I think he's now 80 carry. He went to mid now. He's now the team captain, and they have 4 new players, and they did absolutely terrible.
Wow.
So they are like a brand new team. You can't even call them the same.
You can't call them TPA anymore.
Yeah, TPA Taipei Snipers now is their sister team and or brother team, whatever, and they're both sponsored by Azubu. So it's Azubu Taipei Snipers and Azubu Taipei Assassins.
How many teams does Azubu have anyway?
Everybody.
They have a lot of
So-
teams.
They like to win.
So, what about your guys' feelings on elements?
Like
I
his
like
coaching?
elements. Like,
No, like when he dipped.
what do you mean he dipped?
Curse.
He didn't. They dropped him.
Link dropped him. I thought he dipped out on his own thing because he even talked about he wanted
it was
to leave.
kind of a mutual agreement, is what they called it. But essentially, Voyboy and mostly just Saint Vicious was just talking so much shit to him and giving him so much crap that he was just sick and tired of it. Like on stream, Saint Vicious straight up was talking to Voyboy and said, "Elements is fucking garbage."
Didn't he duo queue with another support and he straight up nailed him saying I'd rather play with you than elements.
Makes sense. I don't know. It seems like something they do. Like,
I don't like Saint Vicious for like his whole personality in general.
yeah, I feel like he's a very toxic player essentially.
Didn't they make a whole video about toxicity and Saint Vicious?
I don't know. I'm not even sure.
I thought they did. That was one of the like league
They
videos.
might have. I don't. I'm
that
not
was
100%
Ocelot
though.
though. With the whole
Oh,
like
it was Ocelot.
yeah, it was Ocelot when he was like he tried to control his rage.
Yeah.
When rage is
remember
beyond
that
your
now.
control, guys.
Oh,
Rage
man.
is beyond your control.
That was such
Someone's
a
been playing a little too much. Nasus?
Udyr.
Udyr? That's what I meant to say.
Oh my god.
Nazis. Where did you
I don't-
get Nazis from that?
Because I thought of Nasus's voice for some reason. I don't know. Regardless, I think this is a good place to end it. You know, we dropped quite a bit of our... Unless you guys have something else to bring up about the finals or another region or anything of the sort.
I'm just excited to watch a bunch of quality league matches.
I'm kind of sad that I missed the Southeast Asia because it was yesterday and today technically, which was yesterday and the day before because time differences. I really wish I would have seen that.
Hey,
I wish
if
I would
you
have
wanna-
really seen. Go ahead.
If you really want to see the most competitive region, the Korean side is going to have their playoffs soon enough. So
Yeah,
that-
the Korean
you're
side,
gonna
yeah.
you're going to see potentially the world champions there, in my opinion.
Korea happens September 4th through September 7th. I'm extremely excited. They're only
Who brings in
bringing 4 teams, which is crazy.
who brings in the two teams? Who did that again from the All Stars? Was that the
or-
Korean teams?
Koreans won it, the All Stars.
Yeah, they get two teams, right?
Yeah, right? I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure.
Yeah, because that's what the All Stars was all about. Like who
Yeah.
gets to bring two teams?
Exactly. Let's see. Let me make sure. Yeah, it was the Korean team. So they get to bring 2 teams. So they're gonna have a top. Well, they get. It's not who gets to bring 2 teams. It's who got to bring an extra team. Because North America is bringing 3. Europe's bringing 3.
Oh no, I meant
Korea-
like another team.
Yeah, I'm just making sure. Yeah. The Southeast Asia is only bringing 1, which kind of makes me sad. I really wish they were bringing a second one because I wanted to see Singapore Sentinels come. For season 2, they got to bring 2. They got to bring the Jokers and the Sentinels. So I kind of think it's weird that they only brought 1 this time. I think Taiwan, Hong Kong, they obviously only bring 1, and it's a match between Taipei Snipers and Gamanian Bears to see
If
who
you want-
wins.
If you want a pretty good upset bet, China's the place to look at.
Well, we
What do
still
you
don't
guys?
know
What is
who.
your guys' vision on Worlds?
Well, I don't know. We don't know who's making it yet. We only really know 1 team that's for sure in Worlds.
Which is
Team Meniski.
Oh, that's right.
They are the first and only team currently to be in Worlds, guaranteed.
oh god.
Team, or is it Mineski?
Could be.
Oh yeah, Jay Havani or whatever.
Giovanni?
Giovanni or whatever. He wanted to know what the prize was for winning Worlds.
Is it 5? I got you. It's a lot of money.
I mean,
a
it's
lot.
world champs, dude.
It's a grand prize for $1 million. That's the
Yeah,
grand
wasn't it the
prize.
first tournament for $1 million or something?
This one?
No, the last one.
I think
mean,
so.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong though. Like Dota 2's tournament this year was like 2 million. Like
It was ridiculous. I think they
Yeah.
passed the 2 million part.
But that's
Yeah, like-
because aren't they just with Valve?
Well, no. The way that the International 3 got funded this year was people could buy what was called the compendium for Dota 2. And if you bought the compendium, which was $10, you were adding directly to the prize pool for Dota 2. So that's how Valve got that prize pool funded, and people just kept on buying the compendium and
what did the
just
compendium
donate.
come with?
It came with a lot of things. It came with like a little interactive compendium in Dota 2. Like this is way not legally
Oh,
related,
okay, yeah.
but
I got you. Okay.
like it came with a lot of stuff that really did make it worth it.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I feel like Riot needs to do something similar to like add extra.
What
hype or
I feel
something,
like they need to do is have it where you can actually gift people with IP, like not skins, but champions. I don't get why they haven't implemented that at all.
With
Um,
IP.
Yeah, IP.
because they want you to buy RP.
I get that. I mean, but it's clearly just little crude.
Yeah, I can see that. I feel like what they should do is for the last like 2 months before Worlds, 1%, 2%, 5% of all Riot points, whichever one they decide, all Riot point purchases should go to the prize pool.
That would.
Like even a small amount like that would bring in so much money because so much money is spent on Riot points. I feel like.
The revenue would be amazing.
Yeah. But that is all on them. So that is pretty much everything about Worlds that I could really think of. I'm very excited to see who's going to be the top 4 in the four teams going to the tournament in Korea, and the 4 teams for China going to their tournament, and then from there the top 2 and top 1 will be making it to Worlds. I'm pretty excited. Those I think are the two tournaments I want to see. Korea's 4 to 7, September 4th through September 7th. September 4th through then China September 7th through the 8th. That's pretty insane that China's ends September 8th, right? And then Worlds is September 15th. Like that gives them no time to prepare. That is pretty crazy.
I think that the Asian teams. Where's Worlds being hosted?
Anaheim, California.
Oh,
Yeah, see, I think that the out-of-country teams are going to be at a slight disadvantage because of that.
Why is that?
Because they're going to have to travel all the way over there.
I don't feel like because they have a full like China's the last team. China and Korea will have exactly 1 week to know who their teams are that are going to Worlds, and 1 week to fly there, 1 week to prepare, 1 week to do everything. So they're in the biggest disadvantage. But you know, from last year, the was a Korean team that won it, right?
it was Taipei
No,
Assassins.
it's
No, it
Taipei
was actually
Assassins.
Assassins.
It was their Taiwan team. They won it, and they were kind of in the same boat. So doesn't say much. And they were versus Azubu Frost in the finals, which is.
But that's because everyone else in Worlds was just crappy at that time.
I don't
In
agree.
season
Like,
two?
comparatively to them, they were crappy. Like they all got stomped.
my
Dude,
opinion-
no.
Like
They
okay,
all- they were all
M5 and
stomped.
TSM were at such a like insane point in their like team history. Like they were like near unstoppable at that time.
They're at
No,
their
I'm
peak of their
talking
career.
about when
Oh.
they faced any of those Asian teams, they just got completely set down to another level.
I don't know how much I agree with that, but
Do you want me to look up the
I was at Worlds.
Yeah.
That is all.
Do you remember?
That's the
Do you
entire
remember
article.
the games? But do you remember the games? They got stomped pretty hard. They had no idea how to combat in any of their push strats.
But I mean, it's again that's like the end of season 2. You can't really compare much of it to it because the stats were a lot different. So
No, I'm saying that they've gotten better since then, like NA and EU teams.
Yeah, definitely. The NA scene has improved like a bunch compared to season 2.
I don't know if it's necessarily like huge improvement, but it's what it was is the game's changed so much, and I think that's what happened.
Well, I think
And I'm not sure if you're aware, but I want to make a point that like TSM versus Azubu Frost. Azubu Frost barely won both game 1 and game 2, if I remember correctly. Like, game 1 finished with Azubu Frost having 15 kills to TSM's 12, and game 2 finished with Azubu Frost having
But
like
how
8
many
kills
towers?
to TSM's 12. Azubu Frost was up 2 towers on game 1 and up 1 tower, or 3 towers on game 2. Like, it was... The goal difference was less than 5,000 the whole... Oh, actually, all game. Like, pretty much. Like, it was not that big of a stomp. So...
5,000 is a pretty big stomp.
Not... A stomp is like 5,000 plus, in my opinion. But...
I don't... Because 5,000, you know the items that you could buy with that.
Yeah, that's 2 complete items, essentially. But... Regardless, I think we're going to end the stream here with this... discussion. I feel like we're at a pretty good place to end it. So as we saw, our predictions this time for the North American tournaments. Anthony playing passive and not giving a fuck.
Hey.
He's like, whatever happens, happens, man. That's my prediction.
He's like, my prediction is someone's gonna win.
Whatever.
And someone's gonna lose.
Yes, someone always. Alrighty. So we're gonna start from the right side this time, PF, because fuck you.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
Yes. So we're gonna let everybody pin themselves out, say where you can be found, give any kind of information, anything you really want at this point. And we're gonna start with you over there, Jeremy.
Well, my league name is RedTrainer. That's about all you can find me on.
You can find him on League of Legends with RedTrainer.
Yeah.
Yes, you can find, I guess, most of those people.
Yes. Alright. No worries. He's our guest for this week. Definitely a good job. Jimmy, we'll stick with you. Go ahead and pimp out your stuff.
You can find me on twitch.tv/c2c_Shiro. I don't stream too much League of Legends. Normally I stream scrolls or some retro games. But you can find me there, and I'll usually stream something entertaining.
It's pretty good.
His commentary is pretty top-notch, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I am okay at commentary. People seem to enjoy it somehow. I don't know.
Alright.
Very noble of you.
C2C is the most noblest of people I know.
Yeah, the noblest. No, not. No.
Brave Sir Robin.
Nobilizer. What about you, Mr. Anthony, a.k.a. PF?
So many nicknames. You can find me at twitch.tv/Leon760. I need to pick up streaming again. I haven't been doing that lately. But then again, school gets in the way.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. A lot of school, not so much time. And once again, you can find me everywhere, essentially. You can find me at Twitter at Hero94, YouTube.com/Hero94. My Twitch is twitch.com/Moose94. I be streaming League of Legends all the time. I'm actually going to stream right after this, PF. Fuck you.
So many plugins!
Facebook.com/Hero94.
Wait, you have your own fan page?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Oh my god, I didn't even know that.
See, I think
It's probably a homemade. It's
When
probably
I
made
was
by
bored
him.
one day, I just made it, okay?
just in
I was
case
bored
he
one
strikes it big with those YouTube monies.
You
Yeah.
never know. YouTube money. Alright. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think this concludes episode 3 of League Talk.
Moose. What do they need to do?
Make sure you please subscribe and follow our channels. Also, all the information that we stated here will be in the description down below. Make sure you check that out. You guys have a great day.
Later.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.